a quick chat, but I just want to say congratulations on running such incredible businesses, ladies. I'm a Reiki healer as well. I do that's my little side gig because I'm such a practical person that I wanted to do something that was a little bit different, and I absolutely love doing that. And I do my own tarots and oracle cards as well, which I really love. So yeah, I met Sarah this week. We just hit it
Monday.
on Monday.
We become best friends over the phone.
Really quickly, like life stories, deep emotional
Yeah.
connection. So that was really lovely. But yeah, I'd just like to explain a little bit about what Tech Ready Women does. So Tech Ready Women was founded by Christy Whitehill, who is working, and this is going back like 10 years ago, was working in technology and innovation, and she was turning up to all of the startup events, and she was the only woman in the room, and she was too scared to ask the silly questions. And so she spent a lot of time, money, and effort building innovation technology solutions that never saw the light of day because she just didn't understand the process on how to take technology and innovation to market. So she's like, I don't want another woman to go through this. So I'm going to create a course and pull together mentors to support women through this process. And so Tech Ready Women was born back in 2017. She was running cohorts of 15 women at a time. She was supported by EY. She would run them in the Sydney CBD. And when COVID happened, the New South Wales government said, we need to support women through this process. And they funded Tech Ready Women to run larger online cohorts. So we then created an online version of the program that caters for 50 women at a time. Now, the New South Wales government still sponsor those courses, and we still run those, I think, 3 per year. But we had people apply from all of the other states around Australia. And so we're like, why don't we just run a course where women from around Australia can jump in and do that? So it's called the Female Founder Startup Program. And it's really for businesses or for women who have an idea that they want to provide something to the market that has the ability to scale. And when I mean scale, it's that we can increase revenue without the same increase in expenditure. So if you think about like apps, online courses, online products, physical products that are sold on Shopify, it's things like that where you can sell more and more and more, but the expenditure doesn't go up the same amount as the revenue. And I think for me, what I'm passionate about is that gives women the opportunity to not work for 1 hour of their time for 1 hour of pay. So it gives us the opportunity to scale and not have to, I guess, throw ourselves into businesses like that. I should say a little bit of my background. I started my own company when I was 23, which was a really long time ago. And I was working in Central Queensland, and I was building products in local government, sport and recreation, community development. And I was doing the same old. So I was consulting, and I'm like, I should just build technology because everyone's coming to me with the same problem. So I was building technology solutions for my clients, fell in love with the process of building technology. And then I created a youth entrepreneur program. So working with disengaged, unemployed young people to look at starting a business as something, so you don't have to go and get a paid employment. So I absolutely love that. I was funded by the New South Wales government, like $500,000 to implement that across New South Wales. And in the meantime, I had a side hustle. So my graphic designer was into fashion tech. She had a virtual change room, and I jumped on and helped her capital raise. So we got money from angel investors to build out, some technology in fashion tech. And that got me started. Like I literally jumped into any entrepreneurial opportunity. So I've worked in ag tech. And so I come on at Tech Ready Women 3 years ago as the program lead. And the company has since been bought by a venture capital fund. So we now sit under Scolari Partners, and I'm now the general manager, and we're scaling these programs nationally. Sorry, I'm talking really quick so you get as much information as possible. Please feel free to put questions in the chat too if you want anything answered.
Oh, I think you've got a new fangirl now, and I love you.
I love you all. I love you all. I'm here to help women win. Like I literally, and if you told me I'd be doing this when I was in grade 10, I would laugh because I'm an introvert who likes writing reports on the computer. So I've had to step outside of my comfort zone like 1,000% to be able to do this. But I feed off women winning. And so if I can put myself out there and step outside of my comfort zone so another woman wins, then I win. So I literally help thousands of women in business and in technology and innovation to win every single day. So I'm just living my best life. So yeah, back to the Female Founder Startup Program. So it's anyone who's got an idea or a product in market, and they might not be getting the traction that they were hoping to get when they first started. So we've got some really great fundamentals in terms of creating our customer journey, in terms of automating, delegating, and trying to make that business scalable, building out communities. And so that's an 8-week program. We actually have applications open right now for the national cohort. So yeah, I think, Sarah, we can send some stuff through that has the details of that. So we've got a website that has, here's all the different, here's what happens each week. But yeah, the cohorts of 50 women who are there to support each other, who get, we have so many great mentors who have all built businesses and exited businesses. We've got online e-learning content. We've got workshops. And I was just on a workshop. So my mentor, Becky Reed, she's Australian born, but she lives in the US, has built multiple technology companies. Her and I do a bit of a podcast, informal. It's called Hack the Activities. And we talk through a whole heap of different things each week on that podcasty. And our founders ask questions. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, the Female Founder Startup Program.
And then there's also the Investor Ready program as well.
Yeah. So what we did was we had founders who had gone through that program, and then they're like, oh, Crystal, we've done everything you've said. We've got a product in market. We're getting revenue. We've got traction, but how do we get access to investment? And so we kept sending them away to other people's programs, and they're coming back going, no, we want you to run a program. And so Christy and I have both been able to raise capital, and I was a grant writer. In a previous life, I got the Advanced Queensland Ignite grant twice and the Boosting Female Founders once. And so not that I love grant writing, but so yeah, we built out an investment ready program specifically to help female founders get capital any way possible. So it's about leveraging grant funding against family and friends raise, against potential loans, and equity fundraising, equity crowdfunding. And so what we've done is built out a 6-week intense program where we go through each section of everything that you need in terms of your pitch deck, your data room, and have the confidence to be able to articulate with conviction. Mm. And so that 6 weeks is quite intense. And then we do 4 months of advisory. So you have a monthly check-in with the program lead and a monthly check-in one-on-one with your advisor. And that goes through the process of, you might have applied for a grant and got feedback back that you didn't get it. So the advisor can talk through why you might not have got it. Or you're introduced to an investor and you might have pitched and it didn't feel so great. Or you're negotiating a deal and the investor's saying, well, we want preference shares and a director. And you're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. So you've got someone who has your back to step you through each part of that process. And so we've got a program. We've got that program is open now as well. So we've had 2 cohorts through, and we've got 2 that are about to start. So Queensland government has funded scholarship positions in that program for $5,000 each. So huge commitment from the Queensland government, which is absolutely fantastic. And so the founder only pays $723, and that's for the full 5 months. So really great value from your government there. And then we've got a national program open, and we've had an undisclosed sponsor come in who will pay half of it. And so it's $2,500 for anyone who's outside of Queensland to go in that program. But that program also has one of our participants will access $50,000 of investment from Scolari Partners, our parent company.
It's amazing. So I believe Crystal and I have spoken. There isn't another webinar in relation to the Investment Ready program. However, there have been some other, there's some, what's the word I'm looking for? Recordings is the word.
Yeah, we've got some recordings. Yeah. Yep. So for the Female Founder Startup Program, I think I'm doing a webinar this week. It might be tomorrow. So that's the earliest.
Tomorrow, and it was 12:30, I think, your time. So it was going to be like 11:30 our time.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And and we do have some recordings I can send through to Sarah to forward on for the Investment Ready program.
Now, the Investment Ready program also it was extended. It was supposed to close out on the 17th, I believe, but it has been extended until the 24th.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of time to go through that process as well.
Yeah, we had a heap of people say, we haven't had power, like life's felt chaotic. We haven't got to, and we're like, oh yeah, of course, there's a cyclone up there. So we did extend that one. Now the application process isn't that hard. It's really just give us some details about you and your business and just upload a pitch deck and a video. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect because we understand that this is why you're doing the program, right? But it's just for us to get an understanding of here's where you're at, here's the customer you're dealing with, here's the problem they're facing, and just to make sure we are looking at that sort of scalable, innovation-driven enterprise. So it needs to be something. It can't be consulting, and I know a lot of us do like one-to-one consulting services, which is fine if that's what your business is, but it's like, how are you going, like this next phase of it, how is it going to be scalable?
Now, I just wanted to, there was one of the ladies that couldn't be here today, but she's actually a New Zealand resident, but she lives here now. So is she, when we're talking about this grant-based system as well, is she entitled to? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I did ask about this because we had another similar circumstance. It needs to be someone who resides in Queensland. This is for the Queensland funding, resides in Queensland and is actively engaging in the Queensland innovation ecosystem, or is okay to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if the business is registered in Queensland, then that's awesome. If it's not, perhaps if they have plans to register the business in Queensland, that goes a long way in terms of me being able to fight for that cause.
Then in relation to, or first of all, New South Wales, so the Founder Startup Program, there is that cohort for New South Wales. So that was correct, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we're also running the national cohort of that. So and the cost, that one's not sponsored. And we've tried to keep the cost to a minimum so that it's a $2,000 founder commitment, and that's for like the 8 weeks of the program.
Beautiful.
With weekly.
So your fangirl over here, Anne, she's from New South Wales, so she's just wanting to connect in on those as well. So not Queensland specific, Ange. It's so you've got national, but then you've also got another one. I did see that it was there was a subsidized one for New South Wales, or am I?
Yeah, New South Wales, so it's $723 for the founder.
Yeah, perfect.
So definitely get the application into that one.
Yes. Now the other thing that just come to mind as well was in relation to a business coming on board. Potentially some businesses may or may not be registered as yet. So, oh, my screens have just moved around. It's like, what does that mean in relation to this particular program as well? So do they have to have a registration, like an ABN registration? Do they have to have a name registered? Nothing like that at all?
Don't need to have anything like that at all. If Female Founder Startup Program, because it's so early stage, it's like you could pivot this idea 10 times before you actually get it into market. So we certainly don't need any ABN or registration for that one. Investment Ready program though, if you are going to get investment, you do need to have a company structure. You don't need to have it for this program, but it's something that you will look to do.
And you grow into.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, Lisa, did you have any other questions? Because I know that you might have had a couple.
Yeah, so I will have to run off very quickly because I have a self-care hydrotherapy class waiting for me. I'm sitting in my car in my bathers. The first thing was, Crystal, I've actually recently joined the government program as a mentorship through a private company, which is, I think, there is it 12, 18 months or something that the program that we were doing, the ETC program.
It's the self-employment assistance
Self-employment.
program.
Yeah, self-employment assistance program. That's right, the C program. The first question I have is in relation to that, can you do that in line with what you're offering for the female founder startup program, or can you only do one?
No, you can do our programs. It's not aligned to any other
Right.
program.
Good. That's my first question. My second question is in regards to the Investment Ready program, do you need to actually have done the female founder program before that, or is that anyone can just jump on that?
Anyone can jump on that.
Cool. Third question is in regards to the Investor Ready program, you mentioned that they need to have a company set up. Is that something that could be done in the foreseeable future? Because obviously, for example, for me, I'm just a small business, so I'm just setting up as a small business self-employed sole trader. So thanks, Sarah. So do I need to be registered as a company, or is that something that can be done in the foreseeable future for the once the program's completed?
Yeah, we don't need you to have set up a company. So yeah, you can just go through the program and go, yeah, I'm going to go through the investment process and then set up a company. You might go through the program and go, do you know what? I think equity investment's not for me, but I'm going to apply for a couple of grants because all of the information is exactly the same. So you might never set up a company structure. But as part of the program, we'll ask the question, are you willing to set up a company structure in future should you be wanting to take investment?
And that company as well, from what I'm learning, is that's also because when we're talking profit shares. So different types of investment will require you to be registered as a company in order for you then to be able to work with an investor
And because what a company does, it gives you a structure of a pie. And so within that pie, we're really allocating shares out of who owns the pieces of the pie in the company structure, whereas a sole trader is just you as a person with an ABN.
Yeah. And I just had, sorry, one more quick question. Now, you mentioned there was a cost for the Investment Ready of $723 for 5 months.
Yep.
And sorry, I just wanted to confirm the female founder was not sponsored. So that's a $2,000 cost. Is that correct?
Yes. So yeah, if you're based in Queensland, we don't have a sponsor for the female founder startup program. So it's $2,000, but we do have, you can do payments over a number of months as well.
Payment plan.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's me. Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Lisa. And Ange, I see that you had your hands up as well.
I do. Thank you. I am going to drop off in 5 minutes. Apologies, as I mentioned, but I've just got another meeting to go to. But I had 2 specific questions for you, Crystal. I'm very interested in this program. It's in alignment with the vision that I have around making some of my services more accessible, with support on a state and even national level to be able to empower people to understand themselves and be able to have a system to do the inner work required. I'm using the chakra system at the moment, but happy, I would like some guidance around how I can package that up in a meaningful way to support large scale change. So I do have that vision in mind. So the 2 questions I have for you is, the first one, can I feel like, okay, now is the right time to start exploring this? Is there a particular revenue that needs to be hit, or a particular, like, you need to be running for a year? That's my first question. Like, when can I go, okay, this is the right time? Because I always get ahead of myself. I get overly excited and then I look back and go, why did I do that now? I should have done it 6 months later. So I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but that's
and is that for the Investment Ready program, or is that for the founder starting program?
Both. Just to be able to understand the timing of that. And the second is, how often do you run these? Is it just annual, or is it like twice a year, so I can manage myself accordingly?
Yeah, great questions. So to answer your first question, I think anytime that you've got the energy to start exploring is a great time to start, right? And I think the Female Founder Startup Program would be perfect for that, because you've got an existing customer base and you're like, I want to work out how to scale this customer base. And so that's exactly what the Female Founder Startup Program does. It gives you all of the tools, all of the support, all of the mentors to be able to experiment. So there's no silly questions at Tech Ready Women. You ask anything, you get full support. For me, it's a safe container for women to be able to experiment. And so we teach you, rather than thinking, I've got to design this huge big thing and I'm going to build, and then I'm going to wait for people to come in. It's like, we work through a series of tiny little experiments to work out, this works, this doesn't work, this works. And so that's the process that we use. So perfect timing for you to jump into that Female Founder Startup Program. And then that could then lead to, oh, well, I've got some traction in market, I'm scalable now, and I am looking for investment or grants to be able to support even more of the scalability of that. The second question, in terms of how often we run the programs, this is the first time we've ever run the Female Founder Startup Program on a national level. So it's really a pilot for us to go, is this going to work? Are there going to be plenty of women out there who need this? Is the price point of $2,000 okay? Can we get some more sponsors? So at this point, we're only running this one. But if we were to get more, program partners to sponsor more positions, or this is successful and we can fill the cohort, then we will definitely run more in the future.
So just one quick question just around that. When is this running? Because I don't know if I missed when this actual.
Yeah, that's a great question. This is the one piece of paper that has all of my programs on it. So the Female Founder Startup Program is going to kick off on the 12th of May.
12th of
and
May.
Run through to the 7th of July.
Great. And just to the last question to clarify, that grant, where there's that scholarship, which one is that for? Because I got confused.
That one's for the Investment Ready program.
Investment Ready.
Yeah.
And that is specifically for when you're ready to either go for equity or sponsorship or grants. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
yeah.
The female founder will feed into the Investment Ready.
Yeah, you don't have to have done the Female Founder Startup Program, but if you would like to start getting that, because investors and grant providers are going to want to see traction, scalable traction. And so if you still need to get that, it's definitely worth doing the Female Founder Startup Program.
Sure.
However, if you've already got scalable traction and you're ready to start talking to investors, then that Investment Ready program. It's further advanced. And the first lesson of that is, how do we get you some really fast traction so that investors want to talk to you?
And the Investment Ready, what are the dates for that?
So it kicks off on the 28th of April.
Okay.
And it's 5 months. So it goes through to the 6th of October.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Thank you. That was all my questions.
Absolute pleasure. Ladies, I have back-to-backs. Thank you so much for giving me half an hour. That was absolutely incredible. It's amazing to see you all. And I'll send details through to Sarah. I think you've got some already, but reach out. Anything you need to know from me, I'm more than happy to share. Happy to answer emails and questions and all sorts of things. So
I've got Crystal's email. The website is already attached to an event for tomorrow. So you can find that information under the events tab. So definitely have a look there. I'll get Crystal to send me through a video in relation to the Investment Ready program. And then from there, we'll obviously keep in touch with Crystal, and there might be some other things behind the scenes brewing as well. So
there 100% is some other things, but
we're all stuff happening there.
that information overload for today. It's lovely to meet you all, ladies. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Bye.
Appreciate you.